Hi, just a quick message on the importance of people not parking on the paths in Clara. So for us, Roisin's wheelchair is quite wide and the paths are quite small in areas in the town anyway, so which means that we have to use the road a lot, which people have probably seen. And, it's unsafe and it's not fair and she shouldn't have to go out on the road. If cars are flying up and down, she's at risk, we're at risk. Also, people parking across the slopes is a huge issue for us because Roisin's chair has a power pack, which means that it can be electric and like you can take it on and off. When the power pack is on, the chair can't be tilted for safety reasons, which means then that you cannot tip the chair to get up on paths. So we have to always access slopes or very low paths. If there's no power pack on the chair, you can tilt it a certain amount, but still not a lot because it's not safe if she fell back, because she's quite tall. It's really important to us that people realise that it's not that we're trying to, annoy people about it. It's just that it's a bit of dignity for our children. There's a lot more wheelchair users in Clara than Roisin, and Clara is a host town for adult services and they have adults there that use wheelchairs, and a lot of the times you see the girls are pushing the adults out onto the road, and it's not good enough. So again, I'd really like if there was works to be done in Clara that the paths would be made wider and that it would be considered just that people wouldn't park on the paths. I understand there's limited parking in town and that people might be just running into the shop, but that could be just the day that we're trying to get by. And sometimes the paths are too high, so we have to go back. And sometimes that's upsetting, and it's upsetting for Roisin because she thinks we're going back then. And, sometimes it's just you have to plan your route and you can't do anything spontaneous. It would be nice if people would take that into consideration. And we understand there's going to be times when that can't happen, but at least if 50% of the time people thought about wheelchair users, it would make a huge difference to us. Thanks.
I have a child with special needs. She uses a mobility trike. She can walk, but she doesn't. So we rely on that for her to get out and about and get a little bit of exercise. And it's very difficult because of her additional needs. She needs to be really well managed on it, so we need to keep her on the footpath. And it's very hard because it's much wider than a buggy. It's much wider than a lot of wheelchairs. And it's very hard to manoeuvre around parked vehicles on the footpath when you've got to bring a child who doesn't have the common road sense onto the road on a busy street because they can't get past safely on the footpath. A lot of mums and dads would have experienced this over the years with parked cars when you're trying to get up and down the town with buggies, probably with other little ones walking, trying to keep them safe. Nobody wants to damage anybody's property, so we walk around it. And I think really we all just need to think a little bit more, and we need to consider, do we really need to park on the footpath? Do we really need to block somebody else's access just because we need to be somewhere and we want to get there a bit more easily? And how necessary is it for us to be on that footpath? Because for the person in the wheelchair, it's absolutely necessary for them to be on the footpath, so they need the access more than we need the parking space. So just maybe think twice before you do it, and we all need to think twice, myself included. So hopefully if more of us think twice, it'll just become less of a problem in the town. Okay.